Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi wa kafa wa salatu wa salamu ala Habib al-Mustafa. Welcome everyone. I'll do introductions. I'll do a brief presentation about how to perform the Umrah, and I'd like to introduce Brother Rahman, Brother Riyal, and Adil. And of course, we have Brother Muhsin here present as well. This is going to be a shorter version of the usual Umrah presentation because we're doing it during the week, and I know it's a late night for many of you, but we will take questions. And if you want the longer version, it's already on YouTube because we've done two of them before, and the first one, especially in 2022, is very, very detailed. So you can check that out on our YouTube channel and you'll find that. It's called Journey to the Holy Land. So as you can see, we have photos of the Kaaba, the Haram. This is the older photo. It's expanded since then. And then to the right, you have a photo of the Mataf. So you'll get a sense for some of the lingo. The Mataf, of course, being the area that the Tawaf is performed in. So why is the Umrah special? The Prophet ﷺ, he said that al-Umrah ila al-Umrah. So from one Umrah to another, is kafaratun lima baynahuma, that it is an expiation for what is between them, and the al-Hajj al-Mabrur, the accepted Hajj, laysa lahu jaza'an illa al-Jannah. There's no reward for it except for paradise. There's nothing else that is mentioned that if you do this action, that you'll receive paradise, except for al-Hajj al-Mabrur. And this is an agreed upon hadith. So the goal is to have an accepted Umrah that is free from sins. So that means that it's very different. It's similar to fasting in the month of Ramadan, which is that you being there is the worship. And this requires you to enter into a very spiritual mental state, where you might be at a bus station, but you being at the bus station is part of that act of worship, because you're in a state of ibadah. When you're in a state of ihram, you are in that space of worship. So you want to avoid sins as much as possible. You want to avoid hypocrisy. You want to keep your intention sincere. I know a lot of us, we stay plugged in, connected, we're on social media. One of the things I would advise is, people do like to share with their family and their friends. Take your photos, take your videos, and post them once you've completed your Umrah. That way, when you're there, you're not thinking about that. You're focused on your worship. I'm not saying don't post it, but just wait until you're done, and then you can do all of that, and make sure that you get all the essentials done. Now, I'm going to emphasize throughout the process about what, if any of the women are in the state of their monthly period, how to manage that. I would encourage you, if it's possible, and you've already thought about this and you can kind of shift it, so it doesn't coincide with the days that we're in Mecca, then it won't be a problem. But if it does come up, there are ways that we can adjust things to make it possible. Now, a key essential for that, to make it easy for you, is that even if you're on your period, you can enter into the state of ihram. This is the most important thing that people get confused about. You won't be able to complete all the steps of the Umrah, but you're going to be in the state of ihram, and you wait until you have the chance to complete your Umrah, and that just makes it a lot easier for you, because as soon as you're ready, you spend 2-3 hours and you complete your Umrah, because you're not able to do tawaf, which is a form of salah. It's a form of prayer until after the ghusl. So just a little bit of prep, and we'll share this with the group in terms of how you should prepare. One key thing I would identify is number 6, finding good friends. If you know people that are already there, or if you make new friends, which I'm sure is bound to happen, it's very valuable to have somebody who has positive energy. Because what's going to happen is, and this has nothing to do with the organizer, has nothing to do with ICCP or Adil or Rendezvous, which is that the bus company may send the bus late. The hotel may not have the room keys available. The restaurant might have some people who called out and they say that the meal is 1 hour late. things may happen along the journey, and you have to be in the right frame of mind to accept that and to understand that and to be patient. So if you have somebody who's really positive and looking at things through that lens, it will start to affect you, right? As the Prophet ﷺ said, he said, a good friend is like having a friend who is a seller of musk, perfume. I heard perfume from the ladies. That's right. If you have a good friend, it is like having kaba'i misk, having a friend who sells perfume. Because either they'll give you some, or even if they don't give you some or you receive some from them, passively, it will rub off onto you. Another thing I will choose from the list is to learn some of the du'as. Arabic is something that, we're kind of hardwired, because in the prayer, we do it in Arabic. But I want you to understand that when you're in the tawaf, when you're in the sa'i, there's absolutely nothing wrong with making your prayers in whichever language that you feel comfortable. Even though I discourage people, there is a opinion that in the prayer, in the sujood and ruku', that you can make du'as that are not in Arabic. I discourage people from doing that. But in the tawaf and the sa'i, I encourage you to do that, because it's different from the regular 5-time prayers. So don't feel pressured that you need to learn certain formulas. The key formulations, we're going to repeat for you, and you'll stay with the group, and we'll make it as easy as possible. In terms of packing, ignore the ihram. I should have removed that, because we're traveling to Medina. And in Medina, it will be widely available. It costs usually between $10 to $20 to purchase an ihram for the men. For the ladies, I recommend wear whatever is comfortable. Many of you, you might have abayas that, because you think you're in Saudi, so you have to wear an abaya. That's fine if you're comfortable in it. Don't wear something that drags onto the ground. Why? What will happen? You're going to step on it. So rather than it being modest, it's going to be a hazard. It's going to get stuck in the escalator, people are going to trip on it, and you might trip on it. So just be careful. If you need to hem the bottom, make sure to do that. Most of the scholars, they recommend choose something that is simple. If it's a solid color, it doesn't have to be white, it doesn't have to be black, it can have a design, but you're there for worship. So to the extent that you can choose some clothing that fits the environment, I would recommend to do that. For those who are not familiar with wrapping the hijab, this is a good opportunity to do so. For the men, I usually always bring a box of pins, so I'll take care of that, inshallah. Unscented products. It's really up to you, because it's not like the Hajj, but it's very easy. You order it on Amazon, you get unscented deodorant, unscented soap, and it's an added convenience, because now when you get to the hotel, you remove all the scented products so you don't accidentally use it, and you put all your unscented products so you don't accidentally use it, and then you have to pay a kafara. If you do, it's not the end of the world, right? You give something in charity, and then it's substituted. Accessories can be stitched. A lot of people think that they cannot have stitching on their sandals or shoes. You can actually even have a closed shoe on the bottom, but the requirement is that the top should be open. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you have money belts or other types of belts or bags that are stitched, it's not a problem as well. Regular belt is also fine, but sometimes I get the question that it has stitching. It's the clothing that can't be stitched, right? So if you have any kind of belt or bags that have stitching, and people will go there, and in the market, they have ihram belts that are riveted, because people don't realize, they don't want to buy anything with stitching. But actually, there's nothing wrong in that at all. So mentally also prepare yourself. Ask Allah for help in being patient, in not being angry. And always think of the whole journey. Don't just think of the tawaf and the sa'i, right, and the 2 rak'ahs that you're going to... Don't think that's the Umrah. From the moment that you depart from your house and you go to Dulles Airport on Sunday the 22nd, you are now on your journey to the house of Allah. That means that Allah has chosen you as Duyufur Rahman, the guests of the Most Merciful. So that is a very special feeling that should really take hold in your heart. So we're going to fly on the 22nd from Dulles. Then we'll reach a direct flight with a Saudiya, which is actually my favorite airlines to travel for Umrah because it's a wonderful direct flight. It actually has a lot of leg room, even in the economy. It's very comfortable. And then after that, we'll go from the international terminal. We'll take our bags, then we'll go to the domestic terminal. If I'm making any mistakes, Adil will correct me, right? And right, because it's, even though we're going to Medina, it's a different terminal, so that we're going to get our bags, then we'll get in to the flight to Medina. It's a very short flight. Really, you just go up, and when the plane is landing, I would encourage you, most of the pilots intentionally take the plane over Al-Masjid al-Nabawi in order to give you a nice view. So I would encourage you to take that opportunity to see Masjid al-Nabawi, which is very beautiful from the sky. To the right, I have a photo of Leader, Al-Muna, I think, is our hotel, which is on the northeast side of Medina. Now, don't forget, we're in Medina, so the Qibla is which way? Which way is Mecca? South. So the Qibla is south. So when you look for the green dome, so you're not going to get lost, because always go north, south, Qibla. You guys are going to know the directions just based on the Qibla. When you see the Qibla, it means south, right? Because that's the way to Mecca. Our hotel is the opposite side, which is the best for lazy people. Because if you're on the south side, what time do you need to be in the masjid to pray? You need to be the first one, right? Otherwise, you have to make a giant U-turn and come to the back of the masjid. We don't have that problem. You can go whichever time that you like. Even if you hear the adhan and you leave the hotel at the time of the adhan, you'll be able to pray without a problem. This is especially good for the ladies because this is the King Fahd, the main entrance. This is the north side. The green dome is there. That's the south side. And the ladies' entrance is right here. So for the women, our hotel is going to be very convenient, inshallah. I would encourage people, I like to do salam with every prayer. I know it seems a little crazy and excessive, but I really think that's the main reason for going to Medina, right? We came there to say salam to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imam Malik and others, they said that saying salam to the Prophet sallam takes precedence over even tahiyyat al-masjid. Because greeting the mosque and greeting the Prophet, which one is more important? Greeting the Prophet ﷺ. Normally, we do greeting the masjid, then we greet other people, right? But when we're there in Medina, it's a whole different formula. Unfortunately for the ladies, they have not, it used to be easy, but they haven't facilitated a good way for women to do salam. They can do it from a distance, from the opposite side, or when we have the Rawda visit. Brother Adil, after we land in Medina, will inform us of the date and the time. We should be there, like, if he says 4, be there at 3, because it's very special. And if you go there on your own, this is a peak season, you probably will not get an opportunity to go to the Rawda. But because we're going on an official Umrah group, so he is going to facilitate that for us. Do not miss that. Because most likely, if you miss that, we may not be able to get you any other time. Most likely we wouldn't. For the men, they will go to, it's hard to read, this is Bab as-Salam. And this is Bab Abu Bakr. And this door is never closed. Because the Prophet ﷺ told the companions to leave the door of the masjid open for Abu Bakr. Because he was always the first one to enter the masjid. And so for basically 1400 years, we have followed that tradition. And they continue to do that. So you just go down that lane, and then I'll show you a photo of the place of resting of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is the importance of the Rawda and the ziyarah seeking the blessings of all of the places that the Prophet ﷺ touched and leaned on, and he met Jibreel, connected to the Sahaba, the best of all generations. And the Prophet ﷺ said that whoever performs the pilgrimage and visits me, then it is as if you have visited me in life. So again, the spirituality of the place, and there is something magical about Medina. You know, I have noticed two things. Most people cry when they see the Kaaba. Not everybody, everybody's different in their reaction, but many people, they cry when they enter Mecca. Most of the people, do you know when they cry in Medina? When they're leaving. Because there's something really magical about that place. It's so peaceful, it's so quiet, and people are so friendly and so open. You really, if you're going for the first time, you're going to enjoy it so much, inshallah. Then as you go down this lane, then you're going to reach on the left side the grave, and it says here, Huna, right over here is the grave, As-salam ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So this is the location exactly where the Prophet ﷺ is, and then right after you have Abu Bakr and you have Umar. And Ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma, he said that shafa'ati, that my intercession is assured for all those who visit me. I mean, that's huge. If you're interested, this is what it looks like in the inside. It has not, people have walked inside, but behind this covering has not been open in many, many decades. And of course, there are layers to the right of what it looks like inside. We're going to go over this when we go there, but this is an example of what you can say, that Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah, ya Nabi Allah, ya khayra khalqillah. So that way you know what you want to say. You can even write down, and people will send you lists, like, please pray for me. Make a list before you leave of all of the people in your friends, family that you want to pray for, all of the people you need to send salam to. Because when you get there, you get distracted and it's very easy to forget. Then you go to Abu Bakr and you say, Ya Khalifata Rasulillah. Then you say, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, right? And this is a photo of the Rawdah. This gold leaf indicates that this is part of the original masjid. So you have the regular one, and then you have the gold one. The gold one tells you this is the location of the original mosque of the Prophet ﷺ. When you have the one which is covered in marble, this tells you that this is from Ar-Rawdah. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said that between my house, that what is between Bayti wa minbari, and my pulpit, is Rawdatun min Riyadil Jannah, is one of the gardens of paradise, and my pulpit stands on my pool. So it has the special green carpet, and it has these markers, right? And this is the minbar of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imagine if you're going for the first time, you should really believe in your heart that you are entering paradise. It's going to be the first time in your life to enter paradise. And when you go there, it feels different, and it gives you an opportunity to say all of the prayers and do all of the worship that you can. And we'll be allotted 20 to 25 minutes, is that right? Which is wonderful, because before there was no system, and it would be very crowded, and you wouldn't actually be able to do much while you were there. And these are just some suggestions of what you can do. And then we have this graveyard, which is on the southeast side, right? So our hotel is on the northeast side over here. I think that might be it. And then this is the graveyard, Jannatul Baqiyah, which is opened after the Fajr and the Asr prayer. Okay? And so one of the days, I'll lead a group there. If you go there, it just looks like graves. You won't know what anything is, but I have most of the important locations memorized, so I'll tell you where the graves are located. And this is a map of the wives of the Prophet ﷺ are located there. The daughters, also Imam Malik is located there. And Uthman is another big one that's located there as well, among others. Then we'll visit Uhud, which the Prophet ﷺ said, which is a Jabalin yuhibbuna wa nuhibbu, a mountain that loves us and we love it. And we'll give you the story of what happened on the day of Uhud. And on the very top, there's a photo of Sayyid al-Shuhada. This is the resting place of the beloved uncle of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hamza. Then we'll go to Masjid al-Qiblatain and we'll tell you the story of the two, how the Qibla was shifted. The seven masajid, this is where the Prophet ﷺ was digging along with the Sahaba during the Battle of the Trench, and we'll share some stories with that as well. Masjid Quba, which the Prophet ﷺ used to visit typically on Saturday, and he would go walking on many occasions. They have created a beautiful walkway and shopping plaza between Masjid Quba and Medina. So if anybody wants to, I think it's 4 miles, something like that, 4 or 5 miles. So if anybody is looking to walk, we'll go together. And the Prophet ﷺ told us that whoever makes wudu and then goes to Masjid Quba and prays 2 rak'ahs will have the reward of an Umrah. Right? And the Prophet ﷺ, he said an Umrah, like a full Umrah. So this is really important. If you need to go shopping, this is my favorite store. There are other supermarkets, but they have Bin Dawood in Mecca and in Medina. This is on the northern side. It's right in the middle, next to the Intercontinental, or actually below the Intercontinental in the Majidi complex. They sell everything. If you need plugs, adapters for your charger, if you need wires, if you need ihrams, prayer rugs, whatever it is, just go there. It just makes it a lot easier. Then ignore that date is from last year. Then, oh no, or is that right? The 28th, 27th, yes. On the 27th, we're going, which is Friday, after the Jumu'ah prayer, which we'll complete in Medina. Then we're going to go to Dhul Hulayfa, right? Which is known as Abyar Ali. And this is what it looks like. And we'll put on ihram over there, or actually what's more comfortable is you can put the ihram on the hotel. And then when you go there, then we'll take the intention together. And then we'll take the drive and continue for about 5 to 6 hours until we reach the hotel in Mecca. And now for the key points. These are the requirements of the Umrah. To have the ihram is a pillar, the tawaf is a pillar, the sa'i, going between Safa and Marwa 7 times, not 7 round trips. I've seen people do that. Right? 7 individual ashwat, right? Is a pillar, and shaving or shortening the hair is a fard, is obligatory. So again, I'm going to emphasize period issues because every Umrah trip, it takes over and gets very complicated. Because it's better, if there's an issue, it's better either to contact me or to contact somebody that you trust, so that way, you have a game plan, what you're going to do. But I would encourage you, enter into ihram. Every single person should enter into ihram, regardless. Then wait in Mecca until you have a complete ghusl and you're ready to go. And you can join the group unofficially. I always take a second group to go for a second Umrah. Now, this is not included in the package, but in Saudi, it's very easy to get an Uber or to arrange a van. The cost is minimal. And we'll go to Masjid Aisha, I'll show you the location, and we'll do a second Umrah, and those who didn't do their first one can join us at that time. So it's only an issue if that period continues until the date of departure. So if that covers the whole period that we're in Saudi, then that can cause an issue. Now sometimes people are not sure, and then they start doing the Umrah, and then they're doubtful. So you don't need to repeat the whole thing, you only have to do the tawaf again. Okay. So going back to the requirements, take a bath, that's part of the sunnah. Men can put perfume on their body, but don't put any perfume on your ihram. Why? Because if you put on the ihram, then it applies it to the body, and that violates the rules. So for the men, yes, there's no underwear inside, because the whole point of the ihram is that you don't have anything that is stitched. I will carefully teach you guys, we'll do a demonstration, how to do it tightly and to fold it. Those who've worn lungis, it's easy for you, but it's different because that one is stitched. This one is open, so you're going to have the right over the left, and you do it high, and then you fold and fold again. And if you have a belt, I recommend everyone to fold it over the belt, or to fold it and then put the belt over. Now, I don't think we have any ladies that wear niqab, but if you do, it's not permissible. And also, you're not allowed to have gloves as well. We'll take the intention, labbaik Allahumma umrata. Right? Then it's required according to most that you have to say labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik means the talbiyah, here I am. I'm here physically, emotionally, spiritually. I'm here in my heart and my soul. Right? And I'm present, Ya Allah, as an act of devotion to you, and continue until you see the Kaaba. Aisha radiallahu anha, she said it out loud, so I'm of the opinion that women can and should say it out loud, not excessively, but since the mother of the believers did it, so of course if it was wrong, then she wouldn't do that. And then you increase as you go along. Now, because I'm very respectful of sleep, I always organize the whole trip around sleep, because you need energy. We're not going to wake you up in weird hours. We're going to try and travel in a way that makes it convenient. In the bus, we're going to do the talbiyah mostly in the beginning. Then we're going to have a quiet time away from the break time. So I'll give you like 2 hours where I will ask everybody to be quiet, whoever wants to sleep, and we won't do the talbiyah during that 2 hours. That's usually how we do things. So what's forbidden? Seam garments, covering the face or the head. That means men cannot wear any hats. They can't cover their head or their face. Scented products. When we go to the rest stop, when we go to the hotel, no hand sanitizer, no soap, right? Just be mindful of these things. Get them out of your bag, right? Just put them away and close them so you don't have to worry about it. Cutting the hair, cutting nails, don't meet any rishtas, right? You can't make any marriage proposals while you're there in the Umrah. I don't think anyone's going for that. Don't go hunting. I don't think that one's going to come up either. And, for the couples that are, because we'll have a time before we go on the Umrah, but it's not only intimacy itself that violates the Umrah, but any type of physical intimacy that leads to that is also prohibited. So just be cautious about that. You can have romantic time later, okay? So here's some advice. The clothes is not the ihram. The ihram is the state that you're in. I always get this in Hajj. I'm amazed by people, they wear the same piece of clothes for 6 days, for 5 days. I always go with 2. So I wash one, I let it dry, and I'm wearing the other one. They say, no, but I'm in ihram, I can't take it off. No, the ihram is not the piece of cloth. The ihram, you're the one that's in ihram, not the piece of cloth, okay? So the bath and the 2 rak'ah is sunnah. Some people, they saw like the ittiba, so they've seen the right shoulder being exposed. That's only when you reach the Kaaba during the tawaf. Otherwise, the men, they should cover themselves completely. As I mentioned, if it's not worn, stitched material is okay, and the ladies can wear whatever they like. We're going to check in the night of the 27th, because we'll be leaving on Friday after the Jummah in Medina around 1:30 to 2 p.m., most likely 2, because it takes time to move. Then it's going to take about 6 hours. We should arrive in Mecca around 8. If we are able to catch the Isha prayer, even better. But that's not a guarantee, right? Because the Isha prayer will be about 7 p.m. We're going to go to the Hyatt Regency. You see these towers here. And in front of it is the Intercontinental Dar al-Tawheed. Over here, these are the Hilton Tower hotels. And over here is the Clock Tower. This is a great hotel because it's very close to the Haram. It's a very comfortable 5-star hotel. There's only, respectfully, there's one negative, which is that you have to cross the street. So just be mindful of this, because it's one of the biggest streets in Mecca, Ibrahim al-Khalil, right? And so if you hear the adhan and you go into the elevator, most likely you're not going to catch the prayer. So because of that intersection problem, you just have to budget the amount of time. That I know that the Maghrib prayer is coming, I know that the Isha prayer is coming, so I'm going to head out maybe 5-10 minutes before them. Because I don't want to have a situation where people, they came just to pray in the haram and then they don't make it to the prayer. And also when you're there, do not exit the haram from the wrong exit, unless you need to get your steps in for the day. Okay? Because you might get, if you exit on this side, I mean, you're going to do a marathon going all the way around. So when if you're in the mataf or you're in this area, I would suggest looking for the sign. I'm guessing this, I can't see, but I'm guessing this says King Fahd, which is the biggest exit. So you're going to take the King Fahd exit. As soon as you get there, you'll see the Hyatt Regency. Okay? So don't get lost. And then you make the intention and the dua. And here's how we start. Anybody know what that is? That is Maqam Ibrahim. That is also a stone from paradise that was used as a ladder to construct the Kaaba. Then in this is the Hijr Ismail. This was originally part of the Kaaba. They opened this at certain times. We're going to find out when it is for the ladies. There's a specific time, but I don't know the schedule. We'll get that to you. If you are able to pray in there, it is as if you have prayed in the Kaaba. So I would encourage you to do so. We're not planning to do that at the time of the Umrah because it's going to be too crazy. So please don't do that then. You can do it on your own later. This is the black stone. Again, please don't attempt to kiss the black stone when we're doing the Umrah. If you want to complete Sa'i and finish your whole Umrah and then go back to the Mataf, because you're still in the Ihram, go for it. Do it and give it a try. But believe me, it's taxing, it's exhausting, it's very, very difficult. I haven't done it in more than a decade. So, but some people are really intent, and if Allah wills for it to happen, for you to kiss the black stone, then go for it. For the ladies, the only time I would consider to do it is right at the time of the adhan. Why? Because the guards will usually kick out the men first. And because they start shooing the men first, it gives the women like 1 to 2 minute window where you can just quickly go and kiss the black stone. Otherwise, I really don't recommend women to do it because it can get really aggressive. That's the only thing. If you're really intent that you want to do it, this is the Yemeni corner. When you get to the Yemeni corner, then you start making dua. The one that many of us know, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. And we'll be saying all of this together. These are the other Shami, and then we go to Zamzam. All right. Now, I'll just kind of explain my style. When we do the tawaf, we have elders, we have kids. I'm not going to be so aggressive and have us very close to the Kaaba. But I'm not going to take you all the way at the very edge because that's going to make more walking for you. So we're going to be very moderate. We're going to stay right in the middle, and stay as a group without bumping into people and also without making it excessively long. The time that we're choosing, which is about 9 or 9:30 p.m., is a popular time. So I do expect the mataf to be crowded. So just be mindful of that. But I don't think it's going to be difficult. I think it's going to be easy, inshallah. But when you see a lot of crowds, don't be surprised, because we're planning for that. We're doing it in order to make it a very comfortable time for all of you. Okay, a couple of sunnahs, to expose the right, to do a little bit faster in the first 3 rounds. Say any dua that you want. This is the dua that Ali used to do. Then you can pray at the Kaaba. You can go to the multazim. You can go under the gutter. You can go to the door of the Kaaba. Make all of your dua. It is a sunnah, right? Because some people see people like holding on to the multazim and praying. It is actually a confirmed sunnah from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is going to be our meeting spot. For sure, we will miss some of you. Don't panic. Don't worry. we are not going to stop and start running after people. That makes things very chaotic. People will get lost, it happens. Then at the end of the tawaf, we're going to pick up everyone that's lost. Everybody with me? So you're going to complete your 7. When we all complete, we're going to go to this sign, the King Fahad gate. Why we chose this one? Why? Because this is familiar. Because that's how we came in, right? Or we did King Abdul Aziz, maybe, most likely, right? This is the main gate, and we'll stand under that sign and meet there. In case we're meeting anyone, we go to Maqam Ibrahim, do the 2 rak'ahs after tawaf, read Surah Al-Kafirun and Surah Al-Ikhlas, we'll have some Zamzam, and then we do the 7 rounds, reciting the verse, Inna Safa wal Marwa min sha'airillah, we'll say du'as. When you see the green lights, this is the part where Hajar, alayhi salam, she couldn't see the baby, and she was kind of rushing, so she would go at a jogging pace. And so to follow her tradition, we do that as well. If you break your wudu, it's fine, but there are bathrooms there as well. There are no bathrooms at the tawaf area, which is why we're going to have a fixed, so we'll arrive around 8 p.m. and we're going to meet around 9 or 9:30 at the lobby. It will give you a chance to freshen up. If you want to shower, you can shower, right? Again, don't use scented products. Make sure you use the bathroom, so that way you're able to complete the tawaf without needing the bathroom. And then you end your Umrah by shaving your hair or by shortening your hair. For men, usually if you cut 1 inch or so, that is adequate. I always shave, that's my preference. And for ladies, again, they can cut the same amount, a fingertip length, and they don't need to cut all of their hair that length. They just need to cut some of the hair. They can grab some hair and cut it. Yeah, yes, that's right. That is correct, yeah. But you know, the barbers are there. They can give you a full, haircut the way that you want. I never cut my hair myself, except in Hajj I did. But otherwise, the barbers are there, and it's like, what, $3, $4? Not an issue. Okay, we'll get to that in just a moment. If you want to do multiple Umrahs, we're going to go here. We'll probably take Ubers, or we'll arrange a minivan. We'll go to Ghar Hira, Ghar Thawr, inshaAllah. This is the clock tower in case you need anything. Everything's overpriced, but that's just how it is. And we'll end with a quote from Rumi, just to remind us again of the spirituality of the place. Don't get caught up in the technicalities, right? You can circle the Kaaba 1,000 times, but God is not going to accept it if you hurt a heart. So it's not just the action, it's also the feeling and the emotion and your devotion that's behind the action, right? As Allah says, لَن يَنَالَ اللَّهُ لُحُومُهَا وَلَا دِمَاؤُهَا, but rather it's the taqwa in the heart, the sincerity in the heart that reaches Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, let's open up to questions, and let me also do the introductions before we do questions. As you know, we have Brother Adil, who's here. Actually, let me stop the share. I think I did already. And yeah, if you want to come forward to answer questions, we have Brother Rahman and Brother Rial. So they're going to be on hand with us, all right? You know, from the management team, the 2 of them. Brother Adil is the head of Rendezvous Travel, and he is our travel agent. He's the boss. And the thing that I love about him is I have never seen him impatient. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. I should get you a microphone. Yeah. If you come on this side, yeah. Or I'll move this. Or I can move this. Come. Yeah, just come, slide down. And so that really makes things easy. I encourage you to ask him questions. If you have any concerns, it's better to ask him in advance. Because people show up at the Umrah and they say, oh, by the way, I need a wheelchair. And then he's like, well, I could have arranged everything for you. If you had told me, then it would be simple, but people sometimes don't communicate. And so I would encourage, whatever you need, just let him know in advance. We're getting the question, will they cut my hair or should I cut it before I leave? I will take the group to the barbers in the basement of the Safa Tower. And so for the men, we'll do it that way. For the ladies, usually there's somebody in the group that has a small scissors and you can do it there. But because we're going back to the hotel, you can also just go back to your hotel room and you can cut it there as well. So that would be my recommendation. For the men, it's better just go to the barber.
By the way, the cutting the hair is not $3-4. Became 20 and 15. I just came from Saudi last week. They have a new barber store. It's very clean. The old one was so bad. This time they have a brand new barber company. It's about 25 chair, and you go in and they are very clean and very healthy, and they use one scissor, one razor, and they throw it away. So you're gonna be safe, inshallah. Okay, question. It's the 5th of this month is gonna be too late, which is tomorrow. The airline is pulling all the ticket from us not to sell it because they want to sell it with a different price. So if you're planning to go, just let me know so I can hold the spot for you until you reach me. Let me know by tomorrow. And I will hold the spot for you.
Sure. Just make sure to let him know by midday because he then
Yes.
has to tell the airline.
Exactly. And then if you change your mind, you don't want to go, it's okay. Okay? What you mean by one time?
For the Rawda? In Medina. She's asking about the additional
Okay.
visit to the Nusuk
Okay.
app.
Okay. They have a system now how to visit the Rauda Sharifa. Okay? And we apply for license for the group. Every time we have a group, we have to apply to the government. Okay? They give us an appointment through Nusuk. And we get that license and the appointment, and we notify the group what time we're going to go to visit the Rauda Sharifa. We meet at the lobby of the hotel. We accompany you behind the mosque to go through the right door. And yes, it's one time for us as a company. And we have to go. If you miss it for any reason, you have to apply yourself through Nusuk to get a permission to go. It's going to be very tough. And that's why when we tell you we're going at 7 o'clock for sister to do the Rauda Sharifa, we want everybody to be at the lobby. We will take you and we'll go out and until we finish the visit and we come back. And it's one time, yes.
She's asking if you want a second time, you can try for the Nusuk app,
On your,
but it's very unlikely that you'll be successful, but please try.
right,
Go for it.
right. If you want to try, you can try from now. If you're traveling with us, apply from now. Get a permission. But we're responsible for the visit, for the first visit for our group. And we do it. And we get the permission, inshallah. I cannot hear you. I'm getting old, so please raise your voice. We try to do multiple time. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But our company. But we do it 4 times a year, inshallah. But ICCP had a special taste when they go together and do Umrah or visit this country or that country. It's a very private and beautiful action by the administration of the ICCP, and I love it. Last year, 157. This year, 66. This year, because of the election and because of Gaza and other stuff, so it's very slow this year. Only America. But when you go there, it's so crowded. It's a very,
It's so nice.
it's very nice.
So
Say
actually, let's talk about
60.
packing clothing.
Sure.
Yeah. So actually, you touched on something I didn't mention. So you have a choice of trying to pack for multiple seasons because you're going to find that it's sunny in the day, and then you're going to find that it's very chilly at night. So you can do that, or the easier way to pack is to use a jacket, right? Because if you have not a heavy jacket, if you have a light jacket, then you can just put that over whatever you're wearing in the morning in the Fajr prayer, and then you're covered. Aisha, it's not that cold at the time of Aisha.
Fajr and Isha in Medina, in Mecca only Fajr.
Yeah, so most of the trip we're going to be in the 70s Fahrenheit, and then when we get to, but in the early morning it will be around 50 degrees at times. And so you will be very cold if you did not pack a light jacket or a sweater or something heavier.
We giving each member ID for the luggage, orange ID. Please, before you travel, put the orange ID on your bags, please. Because if you lose the bag, we identify these bags fast and bring it back to you faster, inshallah.
Not anymore.
And someone called our office and asked that question, and we told them no, don't do any vaccination, please. It's not required anymore. And the guy said, no, I read the website, and the website, it's old. That's why it's written there. Please don't take any vaccine except the flu, if you want to. It's up to you. If you have a chance to do that, do it.
So about medical insurance,
But
now the Saudi government has included
with the visa.
Saudi medical insurance while you're there. It does not cover while you're traveling. So getting international travel insurance is always a good idea in case something serious happens. But if you do need medical care when you're in Saudi, it's covered through the visa fee that was included in the package. It's a very basic, type of.
Part of your payment for the visa, it's for the insurance. Same. Okay. If you need what? Call me, please call me. I'll be there with you. I'll be very happy to help, and that's why I'm there, inshallah. And we solved too many problems. We have a staff with us, not only myself. We have 4 well-educated staff. Okay. The breakfast is covered inside the hotel. Lunch and dinner, unfortunately, it's not covered. And yes, it's an option for $300 if you want to, but usually people don't do it. And when we have a meeting, we give dinner during that meeting in Medina, inshallah.
We'll be doing ziyarah.
we'll do two ziyarat. The first one, the Rawda Sharifa for sister, and the same day in the afternoon for men. And then we do, the following day, we do the historical ziyarat, which is Jabal Uhud, Qiba, Masjid Dhul Qublatain, and maybe do the farm, the dates. Uh-huh. Yes, we do ziyarat in Mecca if the government allow. But we have the bus and we will do it inshallah. Inshallah. Are you going with us inshallah?
Sounds like she's coming.
Okay.
Let's put her name down.
Okay. I think it's a good idea.
Let's say this one. I think that bringing kids to Umrah is one of the most amazing experiences that it opens their heart and also see religion from it's just a whole different environment, you know. I think it's one of the best things that you can do as a parent. It's a memory that goes with them. There's very little pre-existing knowledge you need to have. There are no barriers to entry. We're gonna laugh and joke in the stops and yeah, we take, usually a lot of times, sometimes we take the youth out and we grab fast food in the food court and stuff. And so it will be a lot of fun for them. The only thing is that if you have younger kids, it's also easy for the Umrah. Just be mindful of, I would suggest air tag them. So that way you don't lose your kids. It does happen, but I cannot emphasize how safe it is. Don't panic if you lose your child. Every time you find them and they're perfectly fine. But as a parent, I wouldn't want to lose my kid. So I would suggest just AirTag them or put a device on them or give them a smartwatch or something so you can find them. Other than that, it's absolutely safe, easy. It's not a people even bring babies for Umrah. And all of these things in the Hajj, it's the opposite. I advise everybody don't bring kids to Hajj because it can be dangerous and difficult for them to do so. But for the Umrah, it's wonderful.
We don't accept kids during Hajj.
Yeah.
If you remember. Yeah. I want to give some advice for who's going on the trip. Please, the day of traveling, go to the airport 4 hours early because the airline doesn't give seats in advance. You have to be there to get the seats. So that's number one. Number two, luggage. I just came from a trip and the luggage was overwhelming. Everyone had two big luggage plus handbag. My advice, take one luggage and one handbag. It created problem for us. We have to bring another truck to put the luggage on the truck, to bring the luggage on time to them. And it was really, this is the first time we have that group with a lot of luggage. So please, one luggage per person going and one handbag. On the way back, if you buy a lot of gift, you can buy another luggage from Saudi. It's very inexpensive, but don't bring headache to yourself during the trip itself. On the way back, yes, go ahead and do that. We'll help you to do it. But we can help you during the trip with two luggage and a handbag. Please.
Tell them also about laundry, because a lot of times you're thinking it's 10 days, I need 15 outfits. You do not need 15 outfits, right? A lot of the outerwear you're reusing. Laundry is very easy. You have the option of using the hotel, which obviously is the more expensive option. There are laundromats everywhere. I normally only bring 4 or 5 sets of clothes, and in Medina, I take the suitcase, I pull it to the laundromat, I give them the clothes in the morning, I pick it up at night. It is washed and folded and wonderful and smells great. And then when I'm in Mecca, I do the same thing again. it's not expensive. So if you can pack lightly and just wash it while you're there, I think that's the way to go.
Also, don't forget your medicine. The medicine in Saudi Arabia is European brand and different names. So please don't forget to bring your medicine.
And have a copy of your prescription in
And
case
have-
if they ask what it is. It can be a copy.
Yes, yes. SIM card, headache. SIM card. When you arrive to the airport, if you want SIM card, they will sell you SIM card. They will take your passport, they write the information, and it's not as headache as used to be. It's much better. When I said headache, I'm sorry. It's not headache. You can buy SIM card, and it's very cheap. Okay? It's better to call your Verizon or any company and let them know you're going overseas. Tell them you're going to Saudi Arabia. You're going to pay $40 more for 1 month, and you will use your own phone, and it's much easier. T-Mobile is $40. Then okay. Verizon is more expensive.
$10 a day.
$10 a day. So it's $10 time 10.
Yeah, but it's a higher speed data. Look, you know. But you know, there's a convenience factor. You're gonna spend $100. You're gonna have your same number. It works very well in Saudi. They have cell phone towers everywhere. You'll be able to call and reach everybody. And when you're in the hotel, you have the Wi-Fi. So I would discourage anyone to get a new SIM card. Just keep your do what Brother Adil mentioned, and we will also be communicating using our WhatsApp group, and we'll be saying luggage is ready. Go meet us in the lobby. So if you have connectivity issues, it will make the whole trip really miserable. Do you have it or no? So before everybody leaves tonight, or also those that are on WhatsApp, on Zoom, they need to submit their cell phone numbers for each person, not one per family, for each participant in the program, so we can create the WhatsApp group before the date of departure. So make sure that we have it.
Or if you don't give us your phone number, we have some phone number, but we want to make sure we have everybody phone number. If you don't want to put the phone number here, call our office tomorrow and give them your phone number, please. So you're going to be connected with us. I'm sorry? There is Wi-Fi.
There's no Wi-Fi in the haram. There is no Wi-Fi there.
There is Wi-Fi on every hotel. Every hotel they have Wi-Fi, and I use their Wi-Fi.
No. There's
hotel.
no public Wi-Fi. So if you're in a hotel that's not yours, you're not going to be able to access the internet. Here and there, you're going to go to malls that have Wi-Fi. You're going to go to cafes that have Wi-Fi. It's not consistent enough to be usable. So that's why I really strongly emphasize just eat the $100 and make sure that you can reach people and we can reach you.
It's not $100, it's $80.
Okay,
9.
80. Okay, $80. I have Verizon, so that's what they charge us. So for most of the others, it's free. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
WhatsApp calling works, right? Not the
Saudi.
video. Oh, the calling doesn't work. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's blocked in Saudi Arabia, unfortunately, they don't allow us.
Oh, FaceTime. That's
They have bottom, something called bottom, and they have one more.
I think Viber also doesn't work. Try FaceTime.
No, bottom and something else new I never.
But the companies that we mentioned, AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, they allow you to make phone calls, and it's all covered unlimited. So that's why I think that, and if you get a SIM card that's Saudi, you have to submit your paperwork and your passport, and you're gonna be charged for every minute that you use as an international call. So it really doesn't make sense at the end of it. You only save a few dollars. You're not saving that much. Yes? Yeah, that works. Yeah, if you have an eSIM or you're able to access data, because we're only going to communicate using the WhatsApp group, and so as long as you're connected constantly, then it works fine.
And by the way, when we go to Saudi Arabia, around the Kaaba and in Medina, I really don't like use my phone. I don't want to even see it. Wallahi.
No, don't tell us that because we need to reach you.
That's why.
For those, we all going, so I just
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
mention.
introduce yourself.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. So this time we want to make sure everyone is going. So brother Riyal is going, and Jamal with his son. Riyal is in his family, and I'm also going with my whole family. So inshallah, we'll be all there with brother Adil and Imam Refai. So no worries.
So
The only
everybody
thing,
gets a VIP treatment.
yes, we're all going, man. And one thing I do want to mention from my Hajj experience in 2017, me and Shaila, my wife, we went to Hajj, is a lot of times it is not in the control of the travel agent. So you have to have patience because the bus may be stuck and it's coming in half an hour. It could be 2 hours later, you're still waiting. But it is not that he can make the bus fly and come to and land in your hotel. So please be patient. There's a lot of people. But main thing, as Imam Refai said, make your intention pure. You can do zikr, you can do other things in that time because you're in such a sacred place. And Allah has invited you as a guest. That's all I can say from my experience in Hajj. Yeah, Riyal, you want to say something?
Any questions before we close? On Zoom as well, if there are any questions, please let us know. Otherwise, please leave your phone. Yeah? No, no. No, no, no. So you can just wash your clothes normally. You don't need to do any of that because you're not allowed to apply perfume to your body. And the reason I said don't apply perfume to your clothes is because then the clothes are going to apply it to your body. Using perfumed, scented detergent won't do that because it won't apply perfume to you when you wear it. So you can wash all your ihram garments normally and you don't have to worry about it. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, may Allah accept from all of us. Have a safe journey. Arrive at 4 hours early to the airport in Dulles, and we'll meet at the terminal. Inshallah, we'll do introductions at that time again. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes it an accepted journey, that He makes it an easy journey, and that He joins the distances and facilitates it for us. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us min al-maqboolin al-faizeen, those who are successful and those who are accepted. And may Allah protect us, our families, and the families of all of the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina wa habibina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ameen.